You are listening to the War of Civility on Marquette Radio.
Hey, we're back.
Hey!
Hey! I thought all winter break about how I want to bring this show back.
And that's what you came up with? That's what you came up with. All right, all right.
Yep.
Whatever.
So welcome back.
You do you, man.
Welcome back, everybody, to the War of Civility, Semester 2.
Hey, welcome back.
Just
Sorry.
like an annoying morning show, like from Fort Wayne, Indiana, or something like that, with Peppy Tim and Sleazy Stan. All right, welcome back. I don't know.
Whoa, what?
We are off and running on this
Rough
season.
start. Not how you want to start a new semester. Hey, welcome back to War of Civility, Semester 2. I'm John Hand. Alongside me, as always, Tim Strode, Phil Penarski, and our special guest, David Sando, who comes when he can. Our stat boy, Tony Reale, is in the house as well. A little live audience. So thank you for tuning in. We're excited to be back here for second semester here at Marquette Radio. A lot of great stuff to talk about. We're going to have a great show for you today. We're going to talk about Marquette game today. We'll talk about tough loss against a top 6 team. We'll get into that. Super Bowl, obviously, this weekend. Honestly, am not prepared for the Super Bowl. Don't want to watch it. I'm still hurt about that Patriots loss, but for all you loyal listeners, I will make the sacrifice. And also, we're going to get into some stories. Obviously, over break, we weren't broadcasting, so some big things did happen during our winter break, and we'll get into those and just touch on those briefly. And, of course, we'll do our Stone Cold Lock of the Week of the Century, as always.
Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the Week.
Hey, it's been a long break.
I still got it.
So, guys, obviously, big... the basketball words are hard. Marquette today takes on Xavier, top ranked number 6 in the country. They lose. What was the final score? 90 to 82. I hate this phrase in sports, but I think it applies to this game. It was a moral victory because you look at this team a month ago when they played them here at in the Bradley Center. They got crushed. They were blown out. There was a 21-0 run. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Was that the worst it was at one point? And you look in this game until the final. I know that they were lost by 8 technically, but if you look if you watch that game at all, you know until the final 2 minutes they were right in there and they had a chance to win the game.
Yeah, before the show I said that if that game was played in January the way that Xavier played, they would have won by 50. The Musketeers hit almost every single shot they took in the second half.
Especially from 3. 65% from the 3-point line.
65% is insane. And every single time you thought that this game was over and Xavier was just going to knock them out, Marquette stayed in the game. And I think that's a testament to how this team really is improving. We've been saying it the whole season, and after they played the game against Belmont and then they played against Iowa, they're improving. And then they played in the Big East and started losing games. They're improving. No, I really believe right now they're actually becoming a decent team. This was the first game, I think, where they had 4 guys on the court at one time. Hanif Cheatham, Jawan Johnson, Henry Allenson, and Luke Fisher, who were impact players. All 4 of those guys played. I mean, they played their butts off today, and Xavier is the number 6 team in the country for a reason.
Yeah, it was at Xavier, and Marquette has improved. But the one thing that still bothers Marquette and hinders us from winning games is the turnovers. 20 turnovers
so
today.
many.
We only lost by 8, and
That's impressive.
we had 11 more turnovers than Xavier. So imagine if we had cut those 11 down to 5 or 6.
Yeah.
That was not the only thing.
Yeah,
they
Xavier
turned the
shot
ball
really
over. They
well,
turned the ball
but-
over a lot, but I really don't know how many of those turnovers were all that impactful. Really?
I mean, at the end of the game,
they
there were a
add up.
couple.
They take away.
There were a couple
possession,
passes
so-
that, yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's not. It's you could say that about any portion of the game, but the
Right.
fact of the matter is, 20 turnovers adds up. It doesn't matter when they happen. You're supposed to give a point for every turnover. That's what you, technically in basketball terms, that's what you assume is that they're scoring 1 point for every turnover. So
Right.
20 extra points. Obviously it's not going to be 0 normally, but 20 is excessive. I don't know. I think the other thing that hurts us is sometimes we take stupid shots. We have stupid possessions.
Mm-hmm.
We gave up 90 points today, which you're not going to win a lot of basketball games in college when you give up 90 points.
And Marquette's offense has up until recently, up until the game against maybe St. John's, it's been terrible. And
Right, yeah.
now all of a sudden they found their stroke from beyond the arc.
53% tonight.
Yeah, that's what helps.
They were nailing shots today. They were really strong from the field, and they're not an offensively dominant team. And the fact that they came out against Xavier, who is a great defensive team, great around the rim, and they scored 82 points is very impressive.
Right. And I think you're starting to see the offense come into its own because it's looked very complicated and not very smooth. But today you saw a lot of high-low action with Fish and Henry, and that did wonders. That was really good.
Right.
And,
Just gonna laugh and hand the mic over to John.
Yeah, did you have another point there?
I don't know. I lost what
Okay. Anyway, I was just going to say, too, going off David's point there, if you watch this team at the beginning of the season with the offense, there was a lot of isolation play, one-on-one stuff, and this team doesn't do that. They don't have that dominant guy who can just take the ball and go to the rim.
Well, they're starting to look like they do,
Yeah.
and Jawan Johnson.
Right.
That guy in the last.
Hanif can get to the rim.
Yeah.
But
Hanif Cheatham too.
I mean, my point being that this team works. I think you're seeing Jawan Johnson and Hanif's success coming from the fact that they're passing the ball and they're creating more of that motion system is coming into play more, opposed to them
It
just
looks better.
opposed to Tracy just kind of get in an isolation trying to take it to the hoop. Or it was a lot more selfish basketball, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
It
at the beginning of the
it
year.
was a lot of I'm gonna move the ball. You're not giving me anything on defense. I'm going to pass it. And then that same thing. They keep passing the ball until there's 5 seconds, and they settle for a terrible shot.
Right.
That's not happening anymore.
And it's minimizing. It's getting less and less.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's because Cheatham is playing just worlds better. You probably remember from the first semester, I just ripped him apart. But now I can see why he was ranked so high. And Jawan Johnson, who was top 30 recruit when he came out in 2013, is finally starting to look like the player. And those two guys are the reason why they're competing and have an opportunity to win on the road against Xavier, which, let me tell you, they are a Final Four. They're Final Four good. That team is very, very good, and Marquette could have won that game.
Yeah, and I think the big thing there with Hanif is I think he was very stressed out and wasn't comfortable in the point guard position and bringing the ball up.
He looked lost on the court.
And now that Tracy has sort of emerged as the regular point guard, Hanif can relax a little bit and kind of
play his game.
His game in the number 2 position.
Yeah, he's a much better slasher than he is a passer.
Well, Hanif was in foul trouble all day today, so that's another thing that helped Xavier
Still had
out.
21 points.
I don't want to be all positive on Cheatham. That foul at the end of the game with about 52 seconds was one of the dumbest plays they've made all season.
You're playing. If he didn't have 4 fouls, you wouldn't say that because the whole thing.
It was so.
I didn't think it was that bad of a foul. I thought he was playing tough defense up at the top, and Miles Davis was not going anywhere, and the ref bailed him out. I think that was.
Cheatham ran into him. The ref didn't really bail him out.
Miles Davis, Miles Davis is going backwards, and it's not. But I will say this: so with the 90 points, it happened a lot because, and I think this isn't Marquette. Even though we have a good transition game, Xavier flat out they beat us in the transition game, and when we try to play at their pace is when we get into trouble a lot.
But the thing, it was a 2-possession game with 50 seconds left, and Xavier's going slow. They're just gonna look to kill the clock, take a shot with the shot clock really low, and he just sent him to the free throw line. And you're not in a position where you're gonna where you're intentionally fouling. Cheatham just played way too aggressive, which I don't know why he's doing that with 4 fouls. He plays right up to him, smacks him, sends him to the line, and ball game over right there.
I don't look at that play and say this is where they lost it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that was a ridiculous play.
Okay, yeah. I look at the problem. They had a chance to win this game before that play. It was about a minute 30, maybe 2 minutes left. They have 2 possessions, 2 turnovers that they wasted. One, Dwayne dribbled out of bounds, and then they had the shot clock violation. And that's where you lose the game, and that's where we talked about turnovers. Mm-hmm. At that point, that's when turnovers are going to hurt you a lot because you need to be able to convert there. I know, a young team on the road against a top 6 team like Xavier, that's a tough position to be in, and those things are going to happen with a team like this. So I guess you chalk it up to youth or whatever you want to.
I'm chalking it up to Coach Wojciechowski. I think his management of who was in that game was absolutely horrendous.
Well, who do you want at the end?
No, I'm talking about around the 8-minute mark.
Okay. So what did you see out there, and what did you think should have been out there?
Well, he took Allenson out of the game when they were up by 8-6 or
the big
6,
man
7,
needs a break
8.
every once in a while.
All right, I'm sorry, but you can't leave that. That guy needs to come out with 8 minutes left. You can't leave him out. You can't take Jawan Johnson and Henry Allenson out of the game. Your 4 best players right now, and your 4 best players by far, Cheatham, Johnson, Allenson, and Fisher, have got to stay on the court when you're up by 8 points or 6 points or whatever it was on the road at the number 6 team in the country. You cannot give that team any life, and that's what they did by taking Allenson out. And then Xavier got baskets, and they got the momentum back, and it was too late.
See, I don't hate the move and taking Ellison out there because I think that Xavier's going to come back no matter what.
Right. No, but why would you almost open the door to them coming back?
Because you need to rest them for the final stretch of the game. I want my best player, who is Henry Allenson, in that situation to be at his most rested, most ready to go.
All the momentum, though. That was the game right there. You get up by 14 points, it's over.
We weren't going to get up with 14
I'd rather
points.
have him be at full
capacity,
full capacity with 4 minutes left than halfway with 8 minutes left.
Truth be told, I would have maybe if Henry got a break earlier and got to play longer.
I would have
managed
it differently, but
I think Xavier's a top 6 team. They shoot 65%. You don't put teams away that do that.
Right.
You don't.
I know, but that's the biggest
LeBron
problem.
James couldn't have put this team away with how well they were shooting.
I know, but the biggest problem is you're just almost accepting the fact that they're going to come back in the game, and you're taking out your best player. And you didn't get your starting 5 back in the game until 4 minutes and 40 seconds when Xavier had tied it. And that's way too late. You don't want to play a game. You don't want to have a 4-minute game against Xavier. You're not as good as they are. And you were controlling the game throughout up until the very, very end, and you settled for that. And I just can't accept that.
I wouldn't say they were controlling the game.
Yeah. Oh, I think they were, John.
I don't think Marquette controlled that game because Xavier was shooting 65%. I think it was an evenly matched game.
But Marquette was up, leading from middle of the first until the very end of the second.
But you never got the sense, even when they were up by, what did the lead get to at one point? 8?
9.
Yeah,
exactly.
And especially this, because Xavier is a 6 seed. They're older. They're more experienced. For lack of Wojo's head coaching experience, I'd say they're a little bit better coached. But you don't this is college basketball. You don't put conference teams away. That doesn't. And you have to rest Henry. He's the future of the team for the rest of the season until he declares. But if you play him longer and you stretch, you're risking injury, you're risking all sorts of stuff. And I would not blame Coach Wojo for any sort of substitution, especially with the starting 5 thing. We haven't had a consistent starting 5.
Well, they do now.
But you don't know that because who was the starting 5 today? You had Juwan, Dwayne Wilson,
Hanif, Luke, and
Henry. And sometimes I think Tracy should be starting because he's the only true point guard we have, and I think that's necessary for a team's success. I'd like to see Juwan come off the bench and get more minutes. But I'd still like to see him come off the bench.
No way. No way. Who do you want to start over him?
I wouldn't put Sandy in now. Sandy's been struggling these past 7 games.
Well, I'm saying start Tracy over Juwan because we're too
put Hanif at the 3,
or put Tracy instead of Swaggy Doo. The one thing about Swaggy Doo that I don't think he's very good at the end of games because he's got a light trigger finger.
He gets
loves
going
to
in the
take
first.
off.
He gets going in
he
the
loves
first
to
and thinks
let
it's
it
going to
fly,
carry over.
and it's scary to me. I think we were sitting there and we were down like 2 or something, and I was like, thank goodness it's not 3 because Swaggy Doo would pull up and try to tie it. Like, I think that the other thing is it's a young team and the coaching isn't like the only thing going on.
No, and okay, if you want to say rest Ellenson, I mean, I don't like it, but if that's what you're gonna do. But they put Cheatham in the game with 7 minutes left. He's got 4 fouls. I mean, you're gonna. Why are you? That's.
But he didn't foul out.
I know that. I know that, and I don't.
It paid off.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with you, and I think that's a good move. But that's sort of putting pedal to the metal if you're gonna put him back in with that much time left. So why are you putting at that point? Why aren't you putting your 5 best players?
I don't know. I'll look up the minutes right now, but I'm assuming that Henry played a lot more minutes than.
I know that, but if you're putting a guy in with 4 fouls with 7 minutes left when he's as physical as Cheatham is, that's a risky move.
Yeah, but
that's a move you need to do. You do when it's winning time.
Well,
Henry played 36.
He's balanced. You're not gonna have Henry, Juwan, and Hanif all off at the same time. You need to have some balance. And Hanif was in foul trouble, so he had plenty of rest. And Juwan had plenty of rest. Where was Juwan for a lot of the game? Like, I want him in all the time.
There you go.
I love Juwan. But all I'm saying is, the Henry move, I don't really... And Juwan probably came out because sometimes he tries to do too much and he makes stupid plays.
Right.
But he was driver. He played.
No,
he's
yeah.
been playing great.
He makes a big impact, but he's the type of guy where when he's making stupid plays, he's like when he goes up, he's going up. When he goes down, he's sliding. So you need to
he'll make a dumb mistake, he'll try to make up for it and just do something stupider.
No, I mean,
more stupid.
Juwan Johnson is your key. I think he's the key to their success because
definite key.
There's so many keys to this team. it was
major
succeeding
key.
at the beginning.
This is a house with 14 doors. There are 14 different keys that you need.
Well, I mean, I think the key was finding that driver and finding the leader of the offense, and that's why I was saying that Hanif Cheatham is the key and Juwan, because I was looking for either one of them to step up.
Right.
And now that they both have, I just don't like having Johnson off the court, and when you're having Dwayne Wilson, because he's trigger happy. He is. And Sandy Cohen in the game, he's terrible on offense. Wow. He's terrible.
I mean, if
he's terrible.
He's on a cold streak.
I think he's probably the best.
Sandy's the nicest guy on the team.
He is. He's just.
I think Sandy's probably the best 3-point shooter they have too.
Dwayne Wilson.
I don't think it's Dwayne. I think
Dwayne Wilson. No question.
If we had to have a 3-point shootout right now, I'd probably pick Sandy. But in game-like situations, I'd probably pick.
No,
Sandy's jumper is ugly. Okay, it's a little bit
horrendous.
That's why
it goes in though. You see, you see him in shoot-around before games, and he's making everything, and then he steps on the court and he pisses his pants and can't make a shot.
I mean, I'm gonna take a look at it, but I don't think it's very close between Cohen and Wilson.
No, numbers. I'm speaking pure just shoot a 3-point, like you said, a 3-point
Wilson,
right?
Easily.
3-point contest.
He's the pure shooter on the whole team.
He's super inconsistent, and I'll be honest. I think you guys are giving Juwan Johnson too much credit.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you? I mean, you watched the game.
I did watch the game. I think that he had a huge impact. But I going off what David said, I think he makes way too many dumb mistakes, and I think.
So does Dwayne, though.
I mean, my point is that you're giving Juwan Johnson too much credit. It's not comparing Dwayne and
over the
John.
season. Dwayne Wilson is making 0.002% more threes than Sandy.
So not a big discrepancy.
No,
but how many more threes has Dwayne shot? I mean,
Yeah, he's made a lot more.
Yeah,
or shot a lot more, attempted a lot.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if it's a 3 to tie the game, who are you giving it to? You're not giving it to Sandy Cohen. Sandy Cohen's on the floor.
Yeah.
And what Dwayne is,
But at the same time, you're not giving it to Kawhi Leonard at the end of a Spurs game. Sandy Cohen's a role player, and he does his job, and
we're not talking about who's a role player. We're talking about who's a better outside threat, and that's clearly Dwayne Wilson.
If we needed a last-second shot, we'd probably giving it to Henry.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. I don't know what he's going to draw.
Like that last possession at the end of the first
But
half
the thing is, I think that what's my point? Dwayne Wilson just drives me nuts because he's so inconsistent, and he just makes boneheaded plays where he, like you said, he gets nervous or tries to do too much and drives. What are you doing? He took a few of those shots today. He had that air ball. Actually, no, that was Tracy who had the air ball, but it drives me nuts. Anyway, let's move on.
It needs a mid-range game.
Right.
Let's move on. I think that.
Whoa! Hold on a second. I don't want to completely end this.
On a bad
Do you
note.
think? Yeah. Do you think there's any chance that based on that performance they could squeak into the tournament?
No. That's a no.
What are you laughing at? That was the best game they played all season.
Yeah, but they gave up 90 points. It's a good win, but Marquette plays well when we shoot well, and that's it's an Achilles heel if we don't shoot well.
No,
because if we don't
John
shoot
said.
well, we go in these droughts.
No, it's what John said. This was a moral, game.
That was the best team in the Big East, and they had a chance to win.
But they're not going to look at.
No.
Villanova's a higher rated team.
Who cares? No way. If you think Villanova's better, I don't know. Just wait until the tournament. Villanova is not better. They're not even close to as good as Xavier.
We'll see what happens.
We're not going to know in the tournament because they're going to be playing different teams.
And when Villanova loses in the second round, like they do every single year, Xavier's in the Elite Eight,
we'll see about.
I'll be right again. I'd
rather see it in the Big East tournament.
Okay.
When Villanova won by 30.
I mean,
in the first game of the
Villanova is the streakiest team of all time. If they hit threes, sure they can beat anybody. But if they have anybody with size, they're done. They're the biggest. They're the guard.
Let's hope they make some threes.
And I'd just like to see the Big East power rankings from each one of you fine gentlemen, because I tweeted out mine over the break. Phil thought it was hilarious to tweet.
I just had one mistake about it. I mean, because you posted them right after the Xavier Villanova game.
Yeah, and
Villanova won by 30, and
I don't care.
Xavier above them.
Xavier got taken to lunch.
Yeah. Anyway,
and you think that they're better than Villanova?
They are better than Villanova.
Daddy took them to lunch.
But back to Tim's point about.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
You finally we had a bet last semester about the Giants.
No, it was Major League Baseball playoff structure.
Yeah, Major League Baseball playoff structure.
Yes.
Okay, and I finally got my money. I'll put that money back on the line. I'll bet you this $10. Xavier goes.
No, I'm not. No, because I understand that Villanova chokes, but in the regular season,
I don't care about the regular season. I care about overall.
That's what the committee is looking. That's what everybody's looking at right now.
If this regular season game was enough to get Marquette.
Yeah, it's not. Because also we're 3-6 in the conference.
Okay.
We've lost to Seton Hall.
Back up, Jack.
We've lost
to DePaul.
Okay.
We lost to DePaul. They hadn't won a game in the Big East yet. They were on a 6-game losing streak.
And the bottom line is, what's going to happen is Marquette's not going to get, when you're not going to get down and look at Marquette, Marquette's not going to get the consideration they deserve because of their record.
Right.
And so when they're not going to be a bubble team, it's not going to look, they're not going to go down, the list and say, this is, they almost beat Xavier. When your team's whatever record it is at the end of the season, I don't think if they had won this game, huge confidence for the tournament boost, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Okay, look.
But I don't think the committee is going to look at a moral victory and say they're
going to look at the Xavier game and then they're going to look at the DePaul game and see that what's more important?
Well,
they
DePaul
only
beat
lost
Providence.
Well, they're going to look at so did we. They're going to look at did we almost lose to Xavier or what are they going to think is more important? Did we almost lose? Did we almost beat Xavier? Or did we get blown?
I'm not saying that.
No such thing as a quality loss. I'm
not saying that right now, if the season ends today, I'd put them on the tournament because no way.
But you just asked that.
Yeah, you asked if this was enough to get them in.
No, I didn't. I asked if you thought that they could get in based on after this game, which I think is a possibility. They played very, very well, and they have games that on the schedule versus Providence, tournament team, Creighton, on the bubble. DePaul stinks. Creighton on the bubble. Villanova in. Georgetown in. Butler on the bubble.
Yeah, if they win all those games, yeah, I'd put them in the tournament.
If you win,
but they're not going
let's
to.
see how many games are left. Got to do some counting. 7. If you go 5-2, you're in.
What do you do in the Big East tournament? What do you do?
If you win, if you go 5-2 and go to the semis, you're in.
I'd say
you're
that.
in.
You go to the semis.
So
I don't know that we get to the semis.
We won't, but I mean, if you did.
I mean, I don't know. And all right, so back to the original thing. Big East power rankings 1 through 6.
All right, hold on. Let me pull
You can't just throw this at us.
Xavier, Providence,
You can't just throw. You can't just throw stuff out there. But I say let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
On the other side of the break, we're gonna do Super Bowl prop bets.
I want your Big East predictions.
All right, I'll
During the break,
those.
we'll do the Big East predictions, and then we'll after. He just tried to take the mic out of my hand.
I'm waiting for you.
Well, after the Big East, we'll be. Threw me off my point. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back. We'll have Phil and Tim's Big East predictions, and we'll have Super Bowl
and
prop
John's
bets.
Big East
Yeah, and
predictions,
my
or-
Big East
Hold on, one
predictions.
thing. Henry Ellenson only had 1 board in the second half.
Oh, Jesus.
And we got out-rebounded bad in the
All
second
right.
half.
Okay. Do we have music for break or?
Hold on. I didn't expect this.
I can sing if you want.
Okay. Hold on.
very good.
All right. So, in case you weren't up at Tuesday, 1 in the morning, 1 in the morning on the East, 12 here. I have a new show called Tim on the Tens. We're counting down. We count down
What does that
every.
mean?
What is? He just asked what that means if the mic didn't pick it up. I was actually literally about to explain it, but
Good thing.
so each week we take a musical category and we count down my top 10 favorites of that. So this Tuesday, counting 90s grunge, should be a good show. Should be a good show. Sure David will be listening. He's got a watermelon smile right now. So obviously he's excited. So here's a song I played on the show last week. It's not grunge.
What was the category last week?
Last week was my favorite band. So
Who's your favorite band? Who's your favorite?
The Doors.
Okay.
I mean, actually, I shouldn't have even told you that. I should have made you watch or listen to the episode. It's on SoundCloud if you want to listen to it. All right, so here was my song for my 10th favorite band. Just gotta
Stand by.
You know, a professional doesn't get wrapped.
Coming out of the sky. Oh, won't you take me down to Memphis on a midnight ride? I won't move. Playing in a traveling pain. Yeah. Well, I'm flying across the land, trying to get a hand. Playing in a traveling band. Take me to the hotel, baggage gone. Oh, well. Come on. Won't you get me to my room? I won't move. Playing in a traveling band. Yeah. Well, I'm flying across the land, trying to get a hand. Playing in a traveling band. Listen to the radio, talking about the last show. Someone got excited, had to call a state militia. Won't move. Playing in a traveling band. Yeah. Well, I'm flying across the land, trying to get a hand. Playing in a traveling band. Wow. Here we come again on Saturday night. With your fussing and your fighting, won't you get me to the right? I won't move. Playing in a traveling band. Yeah. Well, I'm flying across the land, trying to get a hand. Playing in a traveling band. Wow. Playing in a traveling band. Playing in a traveling band. Why'd you give me till my hand? But I'm playing in a traveling band. I'm flying across the land, trying to get a hand. Playing in a traveling band. Wow.
Welcome back to the War of Civility. I'm John Hand. Alongside me, as always, Tim Sirota, Phil Penarski, and our special guest, David Sando, is here today. Before we left off with that, before the Doors took us through that break.
That was Creedence, buddy.
I thought you said Door. Whatever.
I said they were my favorite band. CCR.
I wasn't listening to I had my headphones off. I was not listening to the song.
I had my headphones off here. Heard it loud and clear. Traveling band.
All right, whatever. I didn't.
I wasn't paying attention.
I was not paying attention to the song at all. Anyway.
It's your mistake. Great song.
Anyway, we said before the break we were going to give you our Big East power rankings. So, Phil, let's start with you. What are your top, what do we have, 5?
Yes,
top
we're
5
doing top
Big
5.
East teams.
All right, top 5. At number 5, we have the Georgetown Hornets.
Oh, you're going to count now? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
do
cool.
it.
That's cool. All right.
Top
I
5.
mean, you can't just give one away.
Exactly.
Gotta keep
I
the
mean,
people interested.
Fair enough.
I mean, if you
fair
were
enough,
listening,
fair
I did
enough.
mention it. But
Okay.
now, at number 4, we have Seton Hall. What are they, the Pirates?
Yes.
Yes,
They're
okay.
from New Jersey, so
No, doesn't matter. Number 3, Providence. Number 2, Xavier. Number 1, Villanova.
Wrong.
Okay, Tim, let's hear yours.
All right, we're gonna count down. I'd give you all 10, but all right, I guess I'll do 5. 5 Creighton, 4 Seton Hall, 3 is Providence. Even though Providence and Seton Hall might flip flop, Providence is not very good. Number 2
11
is
team in the country.
What?
Just saying. Number 11 team. In the
I
country.
know that, but they really are a 2-man show with Chris Dunn and Ben Bentel.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But
And-
still, those are. I mean, if you're gonna have a 2-man show.
I know that, and that'll win them some regular season games. I think they're in trouble in the tournament. I think they're in trouble when they come to the BMO Harris Bradley Center. To be perfectly honest,
They're down
Yeah,
again. They're
baby.
down by. They're down 56-41 right now against Nova. 7 minutes left.
Yeah,
in the,
they're in some trouble.
Nova's not
Hey.
very good.
And number 2,
Villanova.
I have the second round exit team. Book that in your bracket, Villanova. And number 1, Elite 8 caliber, Final 4 caliber, Xavier.
Where's Georgetown?
Yeah, you know.
Georgetown 6.
Oh.
Georgetown's not
You
better
have,
than
you have Creighton
Creighton's better
over
than
Georgetown.
Creighton's better than Georgetown. Yeah.
Creighton
Bold
did beat
move.
Georgetown earlier this year.
Creighton's very good.
There's only
Very
2.
good.
All right, I can
All
see.
right, I mean, I'll go
I can
6
see Creighton and Georgetown, being 5 or
And
6.
then, just for the record, 6 Georgetown, 7 I'll go with Butler, 8 I'll go with Marquette, 9 is DePaul, and 10 St. John's.
Yeah.
Marquette and Butler are pretty close, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think Butler might be a hair better.
We shall see.
Do you have anything?
Sure, I'll go. 5, I'll go with, let's see, Providence.
At 5, wow. All right.
4.
I like it. I do like it.
Well, hold on. You're going to love it when it gets there. 4 is, or wait, I should go Georgetown 5,
Uh-huh.
Providence 4,
All right.
Xavier 3,
Oh, you got Marquette at number 1?
Nova 2, and I go to Marquette, so Marquette's at number 1, baby.
Non-biased opinion right there at all. Anyway, there's a big game this Sunday. I don't know if you've heard.
Excuse me, Mr. Hand, do you have your,
Honestly, I am not knowledgeable enough on the Big East.
Wow.
I will.
Wow.
I'll
David, you're not. I mean, you knew
Wow.
Marquette was number 1.
Wow. Okay.
That's the brutal. Hey, do
Okay.
you want me to give you a false rating? Or
Bash-
do you want me to?
very, very good point.
Bash Tim, only one who gave you a 1 through 10. Okay, fine. Continue.
I didn't
Continue.
bash your
All right.
rankings at all. I
We
have
have
no
lots
comment
of
on
stuff
your
to talk
rankings.
about. I didn't think we had time to go through everybody's
Bash
top 10.
bash me. I'm the only one who did 1 through 10. Okay, continue.
I bashed your. I mean, I didn't bash your rankings at all. So
and that makes
Xavier,
it valid.
I mean, no, fine, whatever.
I didn't-
Xavier Villanova. I mean, that one is clear. Anybody who's actually watched those 2 teams, but okay,
I had no comment on Xavier and Villanova.
that was
Stayed out of
Phil.
it.
That was
So-
Phil.
And he gave you rankings. So anyway,
I like
big game this Sunday. There's a Super Bowl. I honestly
No,
have,
it is. It's actually the Sunday.
and this is actually something.
I would have believed it was the bye week, to be perfectly honest.
This is actually something I wanted to get into. I wanted to talk about was just this whole week. Super Bowl has always been a big deal ever since they created it, but now it seems to me, and I've seen some articles and columns about this as well, that it's almost gotten too big for itself. They have opening night now, and media day has always been kind of fun, goofy, whatever. But now they have just so many just different things and all these. I don't even know what and it's just we forget. I feel like we're losing the fact that there is a game to be played, and there's now 3 performers at the halftime show, something like that. It's just it's becoming.
Coldplay, Beyonce, and who?
Bruno Mars.
Oh, my bad. Forgot about him.
Really? They brought him back?
So
Yeah.
Bruno Mars is coming back. So
We'll talk about him. We'll talk about them in the prop bets.
Yeah,
there
stay
is a
tuned
halftime
for that.
show.
I love,
prop bets are going to be great.
Right.
love prop bets. But I don't know if you guys have any comments on that, but I just feel like we lose fact that there's a football game to be played, and it's this now hullapalooza. And I get that they're trying to, make it. The NFL's got to be big, and they're the most watched sport in America. But having said that, I feel like we're losing it a little bit, and it's a little over the top.
I think I agree with you. I think they've missed an opportunity. I mean, this is the 50th Super Bowl. I feel like they haven't really done much. I mean, obviously they're going to do something at the beginning of the game, but I feel like they're missing opportunities to honor the great players of the past. And what are they doing right now?
I don't know. As far as the Super Bowl becoming, bigger than just a game, like, is that such a bad thing? I mean, you have more people watching it now. You have new fans that are like, oh, I'm not a really big football guy, but I like Coldplay. I'll stick around. I can watch a half of football and then watch it. And then watch the halftime show.
Ever says they like Coldplay, so I'm going to watch the Super Bowl? Who ever would say that?
I'm sure there's some pink hats who.
People are.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Coldplay
sure.
hasn't done it.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Coldplay fan, but
I'm a big Coldplay fan. I'm not sure how they'll do for the halftime. They're not like
No, I wouldn't have picked them.
All right, don't dive into Coldplay too much. We will get into the prop bets.
Yeah, well, I'm just mentioning that
I just don't want to spoil anything.
And it's kind of nice that you have like a good halftime show. I mean, what if the Super Bowl this one might be? What if it's boring? Remember Seattle and Denver?
Good halftime show.
No, but I'm saying I'm not saying this one is, but if you have one, if you have one lined up, I mean, think about when. Denver and Seattle played, and it was a blowout at halftime, and then Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers put on a great show.
Great show.
Yeah, I mean, it helps out the cause. It makes people stay tuned to watch
Love
it.
My favorite, they were number 4.
You want to know?
They were number 4 on my band's
You
want
to know? Fun fact when they played the Super Bowl, my buddies saw them in September of that same year, opening for a lame band. And they went from opening for a lame band to performing in the Super Bowl. They
never play live, which irritates me. But
they're in and out.
My favorite part of that thing was when Flea's bass wasn't plugged in. That was easily my favorite part.
Yeah, but no, it's just I think it's not a bad thing that it's bigger than. Just
and I think we forget because we are sports fans.
Yeah,
and so you want to see the game. That's what you care about, but. At the base level, it's about entertainment. That's what this is all is. It's a circus show. It's
a red carpet event.
It's money. It's bring people in, get everybody watching. I mean, and so that's what. So you can't get too bummed about the spectacle, as long as the game itself is still football. If we're still watching and playing football.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. I mean, obviously they want it to be the most watched event of all time. And
they probably will be.
Yeah, and if you appeal to the wide masses, you're going to do that. I mean, I don't think you have to convince football fans to watch this game.
I just think
only 20 million people watched the Super Bowl last year. It's the other,
What?
Yeah, only 20 million people
watched
the
a lot of people.
Yeah, no, but, the United States is 300 million. So you're trying to get the other people to watch it.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think that's true. I'm going to look that up.
I feel like I think the number's a little bigger than that, but... Anyway, my point is just that I get that it's a spectacle. I get that it's a big game, and they want to. But I
114 million.
Yeah, I just think.
Sorry.
I feel like they wanted to make it. We're at a point now where it's getting too big for its own good, and I think we're with that in the NFL as a whole is just it's gonna decline. And something that hasn't been talked about at all, and that isn't getting the press it deserves, and is the NFL's worst nightmare, is the Calvin Johnson retirement. You have a wide receiver here who's one of the best at his position and is in the prime of his career and says, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. That's the worst. That's the worst thing that could happen to the NFL because you now have your best players no longer want to play the game. That takes away from the product on the field, and that's going to destroy the NFL. And so I'm not surprised that there hasn't been a lot publicized about that because, the NFL likes to cover it up.
Yeah, they like their best players to not get heat. I'm not really sure if any of you heard, but there was an HGH allegation against the Denver quarterback.
Yeah, that went away real fast.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
On
where
John's
that went,
point,
but...
I don't think Calvin Johnson was in his prime. I think he was out of it.
Yeah,
he's been on the decline. I also think Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Des Bryant, I'd much rather watch those guys. I'd much rather watch the Steelers, Falcons, and Cowboys play than watch the Detroit Lions.
I think you're missing his point.
Well,
because the Lions
but the thing
aren't
is,
very good.
why did Calvin Johnson retire early?
Body soreness.
Body soreness.
Body soreness.
He's on a horrible
So how's
team.
the entertainment?
He's
doing
doing the Carson Palmer. He's going to retire,
How is
skip
that-
a year, and then sign with a new team.
How is that football's fault? He played this game. He knew what he was getting into, and I think it's a little bit lame that he's retiring. I don't know if it's just body soreness. I think it's the fact that he went away real quick. He had his great season, and then he's been kind of a wide receiver after.
He had a decent season this year.
Yeah, no, he had a good. He's
I
still
think
a
he
great
doesn't.
receiver.
I think he retired because he doesn't want to have to deal with free agency, and he doesn't want to have to learn a new offense, and he doesn't want to do another grind of training camp.
He's already made enough money.
Yeah, similar to Marshawn Lynch. Why there's rumors that he's going to retire.
Patrick Willis.
I mean, these guys are going to be unrestricted free agents, and they're 30, 31 years old, and they're done.
Right.
I mean, Barry Sanders did this. It's almost an identical situation. Both absolute dominant players for the Detroit Lions, all-time athletes, and they're done at age 31.
But what I was also saying was, I don't think it hurts football. I mean, yeah, it's a bummer. He was a great talent, fun to watch. Him and Stafford had a great connection. Good football. But there's other people will come. You will have new. There's plenty of talent. Kids across America are playing football. There's plenty of athletic freaks out there that are going to put on a show. I don't think it hurts football as a whole, and I do think it got lost. It's not really been talked about. Nobody really knows, but I think that's his fault.
I think
he
it's
had
his
the time.
plan.
He had his. Yeah, exactly. He got to choose when he was going to publicize this.
Yeah, he wanted
and he
to
did it at this moment because the Super Bowl is going to overshadow him no matter
Exactly.
what.
So then nobody has to make a big deal about it.
My point, I think you're missing my point a little bit, is that I'm not saying because Calvin Johnson is no longer in the NFL, the NFL is going down. My
Right.
point is that when Calvin Johnson-like players decide that they no longer want to play in the NFL because they're tired of getting hurt and they don't want to put up with the wear and tear when they're only still 30 years old, and I know that's old in NFL years, but still, at a wide receiver, he's the Lions' all-time leading pass catcher. He's an elite athlete. I'm sure he could still get it done. I'm sure a little bit of his retirement had to do with the fact that he was frustrated with Detroit. That doesn't surprise me. But and he has dealt with injury issues, but still, I think there's a lot of NFL teams out there that would be more than ecstatic to have Calvin Johnson on their roster.
Right.
And my point, and also just to kind of bring this back full circle with the Super Bowl becoming too big of a spectacle. I mean, this is the normal halftime for an NFL game is 15 minutes. You got the halftime show is 30 minutes. I mean, these guys, that's something you have to adapt to. It might seem small. It's only 15 minutes, but athletes are creatures of routine. They're used to going to the locker room, taking their pads off, doing whatever they have to do, make the adjustments, and then going back out there. Now you have an extra 15 minutes. How do you stay prep? How do you stay, loose? How do you not tighten up so you don't pull a muscle? There's a lot of things that have to go in here, and I know this is part of the genius of Bill Belichick is he pays attention to those little things, and during the weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, there were stories about how he would take practice and they'd stop for 30 minutes, so they'd get adjusted to that sort of time. So, and I know that the halftime show has always been a part of the game, and it always of the Super Bowl, and it always will be. And I'm not saying get rid of the halftime show. That's just one little example of the fact that this is just, a huge ordeal now. I mean, they need three. Like I brought this point apart. They need three performers for a 30-minute show. I mean, that's
because
crazy.
the original performer they got stunk, and they not going to have him out there for 25 minutes. I mean,
right,
you didn't have
doesn't stink. They're just not
you didn't have three
halftime.
performers when you had the Who or Bruce Springsteen out there. Nope, just him.
But I also think
Yeah,
that
music
I also
stinks,
think
but okay.
and when was Springsteen and the Who? That was 5-6 years ago. I mean, the Super Bowl. This is my point: is that the Super Bowl wasn't as big of a spectacle as it was then. It was
fair enough.
It was sort of it was we have the game. We have a good halftime performer. We're going to enjoy that. I don't know. In my opinion, it's getting a little too big for its own good. Anyway, let's get to these prop bets. These are a lot of fun. Tim,
all right,
let's hear them.
Okay. Are we gonna talk about the game after the prop bets, or
I don't want to talk. I don't want to watch the Super Bowl.
Just make a pick. All right. We'll make a prediction. Okay, we're gonna start at the very beginning of the game. Coin toss, heads or tails.
Oh, me? All right. Heads.
Tails never fails.
Tails always fails. Heads.
False. 49 coin tosses, 25 tails, 24 heads. I got to go with tails again.
No, it's going to be heads to make it even 25.
I was thinking about that, but I always call tails, and it works about 50% of the time. All right.
I'm gonna write these down too, so we know we have them for.
Okay.
Very good idea.
Heads up, I have a big advantage in this. I did do a lot of research.
Yes.
All right. Now, my personal favorite, national anthem.
What's
Over
the,
under 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Lady Gaga is singing it.
Hold on, real quick. Let's do this. What did you say?
Me and Phil said
Heads. Okay.
You and Tim said tails.
All right.
Classic. The
Next one is national anthem.
Over under 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
2 minutes and 20 seconds.
All right. Well, as Tim stated, Lady Gaga is singing it. Lady Gaga is quite the performer. It will go well above 2:20. I'm thinking close to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a whole reenactment of the Revolutionary War for this thing. I mean, this is Lady Gaga. She's going to come out as a musket. I mean, this is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be, it's half an hour maybe. Who knows, really? Over, if you couldn't get the gist. Over.
I go over 2. I think Gaga drags us out.
You guys are all wrong. Easy, maybe the easiest bet of all time. This is the under. The average is 157. This would have to be.
Why didn't you give us the average?
Because I want to be
220 was
right.
the average.
False. It's 157.
Insider trading over
Yeah,
there.
for real. This isn't fair.
I didn't have to tell you anything. I was the only one who did the research.
You didn't tell us what the questions were.
Sorry, my bad.
This is a rigged competition. I still feel confident in my answer.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll
And-
still be over
Okay,
220.
and Lady Gaga, she's not going a cappella. She's got instrumentalists behind her, and they're gonna speed her up.
You don't think she's talked to them about it? This like, hey, you know,
I know they have a little bit, but I don't think they're gonna let her hit all those notes.
They're gonna-
just constantly.
30
I'm
extra
going.
seconds.
I think it'll be closer to 2 minutes. I think it's an easy under. I'm taking
I
the
can't
under.
believe he didn't give us the average. I'm so mad.
I don't say it's an easy under. I would not say an easy under.
Okay, it's not. I mean, none of these prop bets are
That's true.
easy, but this one I'm like 75% certain
All
will
right,
be
so
under.
what do you think, like, how far under? Do you think it's going to be, like, you think she's going to hit the average right around, or do you think she's going to, like,
okay.
get close to 220, but 30
Okay,
seconds is a big discrepancy?
I watched a Lady Gaga national anthem.
For what event?
I think it was like a gay pride parade,
Okay.
and she did it a cappella, and she was hitting notes all over the place. She was around 201, I think.
Okay.
I think
I
it
still
might
think
have been
she's
like
going
it might
over.
have been like 215.
Dude,
That's
I don't
over.
know.
Is that
But
the over?
No,
everybody,
that's
but
still under.
everybody,
Wait, what was the number?
220. 220 is the under.
but
over under.
everybody's gonna be watching this, so you know she's gonna want to kind of.
I know.
She
but
was
I
hyped for that. She was
Yeah.
trying to get that over with.
She has. There's been one national anthem performer who's gone over, and now it's Alicia Keys. Only one.
See, I could
Seriously, could we have gotten these questions any earlier?
You didn't ask.
I
I
think
told you we were gonna do the prop bets.
Keys and Gaga are kind of similar vocalists.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see that. You know.
But even when Christina
is it-
Aguilera messed it up, she was way under.
Didn't she skip like an entire verse though?
No, she just skipped a couple
few
words.
Yeah. Wait, is it just her pure singing or her being out there? It's just pure
Singing.
Okay.
Oh.
From the O until
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Well, how long is the Brave gonna be?
I don't know.
That could be the 30-second kick that we need.
Well, and
Yeah.
it could get drowned out by the applause. So
Yeah.
we really need to have a
think
a
I'm
final
sticking with mine.
decision.
I'm
We
sticking
need
with
we
mine.
need an official time. We can't just
Okay.
judge it with a stopwatch.
I'm still taking the under. Okay. Next, let's see. What are we going with next? Hold on a second. Fill this with some filler. I didn't come all that prepared.
oh, you didn't come prepared?
No, I did. Okay. No, but these questions are like what's gonna be the first score? Like I don't care about that. All right, I guess we'll go MVP. Actually, here's a good one. Here's one of my favorites too. Who does the MVP thank first?
All right, 1, 2, 3. God.
All right. I mean, I came a little bit more prepared. I believe the MVP will be Cam Newton because if the Panthers win, unless he throws like 17 interceptions, he'll win the MVP. And I watched his Heisman acceptance speech last night.
What's it, God?
Yeah, it was an emphatic God too. It was he said something like, "Before I do anything, I gotta thank God." So, actually, just thinking about this now, he might thank his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Which would throw it off.
That's kind of a loophole.
I don't think
we go to a Catholic school. We believe in the Holy Trinity, so it's the same thing.
No,
but I'm saying that's like, it's a loophole because like he's not saying God, he's saying Lord.
I think if you bet God and he says Jesus Christ, I don't think you get it.
Right. That's what I'm.
But we're all agreeing that he's going to say God.
I think he's going to say God.
I'll say God.
All right.
Yeah.
So, next one.
Next one.
I think he says Jesus Christ.
Okay. Here's one that'll be tough.
All right.
Gatorade. Winning team. What color is it? We have
Ooh.
All right.
orange, blue, clear, yellow, red, green, and purple.
It depends
Blue.
on who wins. If the Panthers
Blue.
win, I'm thinking yellow. If the Broncos win, it's red.
Blue all the way. It's gonna be like a blue, maybe like a darker blue, maybe a purplish. It'll be close. I'm going blue.
I'm going orange. There's
Orange?
been a history of orange. It's other than clear. Okay.
There's been a history of orange.
Of the 50 Super
at-
Bowls, 21 have been red.
We're at, let me see. I got a chart here. 5, 9, 10, 12. I guess there's been 12 Gatorade dumped on the winning coaches.
That's
We have-
it?
Yeah, I guess so. That seems a little low.
I feel like it happens every year. When shouldn't there be? I guess maybe
I don't
not
know.
50,
Maybe it
'cause
didn't
when was
start-
Gatorade invented? Yeah.
Called a Gatorade.
Well,
Yeah.
Gatorade was invented like the 60s, but I don't know. Okay, so orange is at 3, yellow's at 2, clear's at 4, but it hasn't been clear in a very long time. And
Clear Gatorade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
You
like
mean
the
water?
rain?
no, like Gatorade Rain is what I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about. That
Do they
was
sell that still?
I don't know. But
So that
that's
could be
what
a-
when the Patriots
Well, then I'm
won in
definitely
Super
not
Bowl
picking clear.
39 against the Eagles, it was clear.
That was the last time?
What? It was clear?
was the last time it was clear?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I want to say Seattle's was. I also want to say Seattle's was orange. I don't know. And then there's blue and purple. Blue was 1, purple was 2. I'm going orange.
What was red?
What are you going?
What was red? How many did red have?
0 according
Zero?
to this chart.
Oh, then red. I'm going red.
I'm going red as well. I thought, didn't the Patriots have red last year?
Yeah,
I think they
saw,
were blue.
No, I saw Belichick get belted with some red, and
Yeah,
Tom
I
Brady
think-
had some red on his white jersey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Patriots had red last
Yeah.
year.
Maybe it was. Maybe I don't know.
To your orange point, I think maybe why it might be orange is because orange is definitely the worst flavor out of all of those. So that's
Yes.
what's left. That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's not. That's
a
pretty.
very
That is
good
a
point.
very good point.
Ooh. What did I say? Orange? Oh yeah, exactly. What? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I picked it.
Okay.
Next one.
Let's see. Okay. How many times will the broadcasters say dab or dabbing?
Oh my
Is
Oh,
it
wait,
two?
real quick.
2 over under?
Real quick before we talk about did you see the Edward or dab?
Yes, that was
I
one of the
I can't watch those anymore.
No, this was it was
watch
No,
it.
the
Cannot
commish.
watch it.
Roger Goodell doing it was 1,000 times worse.
But the thing was, Werder didn't even dab. Like, if you know what the dab is, it's like you sneeze, like an achoo, and you're supposed to go into your elbow, basically.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
That's essentially what it is. And Werder didn't do that at all. He just stuck his arm out to the left. That's all it was. It's hysterical. Go on the internet and find it. Yeah, so dabbing, what's the over-under?
2.
How many times
Two.
they say it or do it?
Say it. The
Okay.
broadcasters.
Oh, jeez. Well, Phil Simms loves to be as colorful as possible.
Yeah, Phil Simms likes being in the moment.
So I'm gonna say well above. I'm saying like 5, especially if the Panthers are like winning by a lot.
100.
What's your opinion, Tim?
I gotta go. I think under.
Wait,
I
all
really do.
all throughout the game?
Yeah,
or, like,
not including halftime. Not including halftime.
or like in the pregame,
no,
Just
no,
in the
no,
they're
no.
gonna
broadcast.
say it like twice.
Just Jim and Phil. I
Okay.
think they're going under. I just do.
I think they go
Who's
over.
the-
I mean, I think it depends on how many touchdowns Cam Newton throws.
Yeah.
Because he'll be, oh, there's the dab
Oh,
again.
here comes the dab.
'Cause
That's true. That's fair.
I don't see Manning dabbing anytime soon.
Oh, that would be funny if
That would be funny.
he
that
like
would
runs
be a
in
great
for
way
a
to go out.
touchdown.
This dab thing, I hate the dab, mainly because parents, if you think that Cam Newton is a great mentor, why don't you go look up what dabbing is, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know how many parents think that he's a great mentor, but okay.
Parents love him.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
All right.
Because he gives the ball to
Carolina-
the little
he's the
kids.
best guy.
Good segue.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Quick, did you say you're over under, John? Do it quick.
I'm
before.
over.
Okay, you're over. All right. Cam Newton gives the ball to a little kid. Boy or girl?
Oh, this is good. Wait, the first one? Let's quit.
Sure, yeah.
Boy.
I mean, it's
I don't
like,
know how many little girls are going to be on the front row.
That's true.
I don't know how many little boys are. I don't know how many little kids are going to be in the front
there's
row.
going to be some dad that
They'll-
brings his little son.
The
to,
NFL will plant somebody there. You know they will.
Yeah, I could see that. I could really see that.
I'll go girl.
David says. Girl.
I'm gonna
I don't
go.
think I
I'm
picked
gonna go boy. I'm sort of with Phil. I think
Yeah.
there'll be a little bit more
Would you-
sons.
Boy, yeah, I'm going boy as well. I could see, yeah.
So, all right, we're
Next
gonna.
What
Let's
what
see.
about this one? This is just coming off the top of my brain. Do the broadcasters mention Peyton Manning HGH?
No, because Jim Nantz and Peyton Manning are agents are the same guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, they didn't mention.
Or
it the
they're in
first
the
time.
same company. I don't know.
I'd say they mention it if it was
No
like,
way. No.
I think yes.
Zero.
I think they
I think
mention.
they
it.
would mention it.
I
Zero.
think they have to mention.
They're gonna be like, they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, no, he totally did. They're gonna be like, what's going through his mind? Is it like, especially if they're like losing by a lot and everything.
Because the thing is, last time when I forget the week. I'm blanking on the week, but when Peyton came back for Osweiler, was that in the playoff? No, that was the Patriots. Why am I?
It was week 16.
Week 16 when he comes
It
back.
was it was against the Chargers, I believe.
When they come back, they got a lot of flack for really not being scrutinizing Peyton Manning, and like they were running the ball really well, and they were putting that all. They were like, oh, Peyton Manning, because of Manning, they're able to run the ball so much.
Right.
I was like, that's not how football works.
Yeah, that
But-
doesn't
So
work
I
like
wouldn't
that.
be surprised. I think they're gonna try to present an unbiased broadcast.
They're gonna mention it. They're
So
not
I
gonna
see.
like go into detail. They'll mention
that's
it.
asking for too much.
Yeah, they'll definitely mention it though.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Yes or no on that?
I'll switch to yes because I have been opposite Tim on all the answers. So
Okay,
I'll stick to that.
we're gonna cross sports a little bit here.
All right.
Okay, what's higher? Jordan Spieth's first round score at the Masters or Demaryius Thomas's receiving yards?
I mean, you got to go receiving yards, right? What did
Jordan-
Spieth finish with?
He won.
Right.
So-
The last.
But what was his
Masters.
number?
I don't know. It couldn't have been higher than a 68.
Yeah, he shot like a record.
Did you say first half or total?
Yeah, for
First round.
oh yeah,
first-
he broke the record. It was I think it was
What
68.
is that, Demaryius Thomas?
No, it couldn't have been.
Yards?
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas. I'll look up
Actually,
Jordan
still,
Spieth
I'll
in the
go.
Masters.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it was a course record.
All right, I might change my answer because I totally thought you meant like how below how under par was he? And he was like,
He was 18 under.
yeah. So I'm like, all right, he obviously Demaryius is gonna have at least 1 yard.
No.
So yeah,
Um,
I'd probably say Spieth.
Spieth.
I don't think.
I'd say
Demaryius-
Spieth
Wait,
too.
so what's the final number?
What did he shoot?
Yeah.
He shot in the first round. Why don't they just give me a
We're not
stupid?
gonna know that for a
Spieth,
while, though.
first round
We'll know at the end.
Masters.
No, is it the Masters?
The
And...
total. No, his last Masters.
his last
Okay. He shot. Why don't they just give me this stupid?
I'm pretty sure
thing?
it was a 68 in the first round.
I think he shot lower than that, because that would be
No, I'm pretty sure 68 was the record, wasn't it?
no.
Oh, 64.
No.
64 first
Shot
round.
a 64 in the first
Yep.
round.
So total receiving yards.
Yeah.
You don't think Demaryius has more than?
No, Demaryius disappears in big games.
And also Peyton Manning's throwing him the
And the
ball.
whole season, he's like.
The
Yeah.
Panthers
So-
don't give up a lot of
Okay.
after the yards catch.
Emmanuel Sanders is better too.
Yeah,
So,
they're gonna go to
Good
him.
segue.
Okay,
So wait, we didn't get. What's the final? So
I'm going
Just
with
Spieth?
Speed.
Spieth.
I'm going with Speed.
what do you say, David?
Spieth. I'm
David
breaking
says
the
Spieth.
Tim thing of Spieth.
Tiger
I'll go
Woods.
Thomas just to be different.
Tiger Woods' first round score at the Masters or Emmanuel Sanders receiving yards.
I mean, now we're splitting. I mean,
as
you
long as
gotta
his-
go.
Even allowed at the
Yeah, is
Masters
this even
year?
getting create? Oh, this year's Masters or like
Yes.
when he won it?
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Emmanuel Sanders, so it doesn't seem like I'm picking the golfers because I think
wait, this past Masters?
No, this year's Masters.
Oh, the one that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Oh,
wait.
jeez.
The Spieth one was this year's too.
You're confusing me so much.
That's what
The
I thought.
future.
We're not gonna know for a
Yeah,
while.
did you?
Yes.
Want, we
Oh,
were
we're not
basing-
gonna do that
I was
now.
basing it off Spieth's like from.
I say we do it
2005.
last
whatever,
year.
fine.
Yeah.
Next
Was
thing.
Tiger
Next
Woods
thing,
even
yeah.
gonna
Alright.
get into the Masters? Was he even allowed?
Yeah,
And
is he
Tiger
gonna
Woods
be
will
the-
always
Okay,
be in the
here's a
Masters.
good one. Here's a good one. Will Mike Carey be wrong about a challenge in the Super
Oh, that's a
in the
good
Super
one.
Bowl?
He's a weird looking guy. I mean, I don't know in real because I've never actually seen him
his
because they don't have
picture
his
is
You've
picture.
never seen him? You don't remember him calling games?
No.
Oh, I do. He was.
I mean, just that picture they have him is a. I would if I was Mike Carey, I'd want a new picture. Actually, that's bad. If that's the best picture, like if Mike Carey's like, okay, yeah, use that picture, like that's not good.
I
He looks like an
Okay.
alien. He does.
No, I mean, I gotta go. I think he'll get one wrong. I do. I mean,
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't bat 1,000 by any means.
no, because you gotta think that they're gonna bring him in at least. I mean,
How many times do they bring him in?
Oh, that's a good one.
3 times.
Yeah, I'd say 3 times. I can't. No, I'd say 2.
I'm going 3.
I can't see him going 2 for 2. I really
There's
don't.
gonna be 2. No, because they're gonna bring him in when Cam Newton jumps over the pile for a touchdown, and it's gonna be the ball.
Those are fairly easy to tell, though.
They don't just bring him in
thought
for
we were-
closer, right? It's like closer calls.
Yeah, closer calls.
Like
you
if there's
think
like
just
a
2
pass
times?
interference call, they'll bring
Okay,
him in.
I'm gonna change this. Will he be wrong about like a review, not necessarily a challenge?
Okay.
I say he will.
Yeah, he will.
So, all right, how many times, David, do you have him coming in?
He's gonna come in 10 times. I don't. They're gonna bring him in all day.
All right,
Yeah,
10. I go 5.
And does he get one wrong? Does he say something?
I'm gonna say no. I'm actually gonna change.
You're
mine.
gonna back Mike Carey?
Yeah.
Actually,
Big game. I think he. You know.
He's been watching film all week. He's ready for this. Yeah, I say he's got to
that's
get it
not
wrong.
a touchdown.
Just human nature. I think this guy's got to get one wrong.
doesn't he like
Yeah.
backs up the refs every time? He's like always like confirmed. He's like he always is confirming. He like backs up the refs no matter what. He's always on their back.
Okay.
So,
All right. Next one.
No, but yes. I don't know. What
This
I'm
is
saying, but
this
IDK.
might be my favorite. What does Coldplay start with? For their halftime show, what song do they play first? I think this one's fairly easy, but
Okay.
I'll let you guys go first.
All right.
I don't have any like stats to back this up, like the national anthem.
Or you
Yeah.
could look up like
I can't believe you had stats. For
Coldplay concerts.
I did,
Oh,
I did, and it gives me nothing.
What's the number one?
Really? I think they start with Viva.
I was about to say
Yeah.
Viva La Vida.
No,
You
Clocks.
gave me. Yeah, you gave me
Clocks.
a reason.
I think
He
they're
I think they
has-
starting-
start slow
he has
and
good
Yeah,
reason.
because if you
I
watch
can
the
see-
Super
'cause-
Bowl halftime show, I've watched a bunch of them, not necessarily to research this, maybe, but okay, so pretty much every halftime show, maybe not Katy Perry though, starts off fairly slow and sort of builds it up. Like if you remember Bruno Mars, starts off with him like playing the drums, which I didn't get.
Which was so
Yeah.
cool.
But okay, so
He was
that
very
started
talented.
slow, and I think it just just screams clocks. Because if you've ever heard clocks, it starts off just so slow with a simple piano riff, and it's a piano riff, correct?
Is Beyonce playing the piano riff?
I don't.
Because I don't think. Because yeah, when the Bruno Mars and Red Hot Chili Peppers didn't open it up. Bruno
Yeah,
Mars
the people who come on don't open it up.
Right, so I think Beyonce is gonna open it up. So
Oh,
are
I
you
don't.
saying
No
like,
way. It's Coldplay's show. It's featuring Beyonce and.
dude, Beyonce will be there first.
Oh,
I think
no,
Beyonce will be on
They're
the field
coming on.
first.
They're coming on. No, I gotta go Coldplay. I think it's gonna be like the big guy comes, the big deep voice guy says, "No, the Super Bowl 50 halftime show featuring Coldplay," and then you'll just hear the piano, and then it'll just
No,
progressively
I think it's gonna be
go
from
up.
Viva
I
La
gotta
Vida.
go. I could see the other one I could see is Paradise. I could see him doing Paradise.
Yeah.
I could see Paradise.
Great song.
I see. I'm going with Paradise because they never do the big. Viva La Vida is like their big.
Yeah,
song.
but
And
here's
then-
what I think. They're gotta play Viva La Vida.
Yeah,
or
they
not
have
Viva La Vida. They gotta play Clocks. Absolutely have to play Clocks. And what other time would you play it if it's not the beginning? You can't play it at the beginning.
Do you think they play Yellow?
No way. Yellow's way too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's one of their big songs.
I'm starting to think that they are gonna open with Viva La Vida. You know, like the opening. It's like dun dun dun. I think that'd be kind of cool to like open up with.
I think if with the slowness, I think Clocks is gonna come in the middle. It'll come like right when either Beyonce or Bruno Mars is about to come on, because it'll go slow and they won't finish it, and then it'll come into like a really it'll kick up like fast.
Yeah.
That gets you in the seats. You know.
No, I mean,
So what do they
Okay.
start with, David?
I don't know. Paradise. Let's just go.
no. Gotta be Clocks because you can't skimp on that piano intro. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what are you gonna do? You're not just gonna have it in the beginning, because that means you can't have like a 30-second piano intro in the middle of the show.
Yeah. I don't think. I don't know. See, Viva Vida would be sick.
Yeah, well, they kind of have to play their.
I think they'd all be fairly.
Well, if
fairly cool.
Beyonce and Bruno Mars are both going to do at least one song, they have to get all their songs out of the way first. So they're going to want to start with their.
Do you think they mesh songs? Do you think they're making a new song?
Absolutely.
I don't think Beyonce starts with them either. I think she comes out.
Yeah, no, she's going to come out like Missy Elliott did.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what David was talking about, that they were gonna that they're all coming out at the same time. They never
do that.
They never do it.
Beyonce she lives for that clap, like.
Yeah.
so I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beyonce kind of makes me mad, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge. I mean,
I like Beyonce.
I don't know. She's maybe it's Beyonce. You know what? It's not necessarily Beyonce that I hate. It's more Beyonce's fans.
Yes, it's like Alabama fans.
Dave's dancing outside our window right now.
So, last one.
All right.
Other than the prediction, does Peyton Manning throw a pick six?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
I say yes because I want it.
Yes,
I think he throws one to Luke Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly has had back-to-back games.
Luke Kuechly has as many receiving touchdowns as anybody on the Broncos.
Yeah. So.
I will say no. I think Peyton's gonna have a great game. I don't know if they'll win or lose, but I think he's gonna have a great game.
I don't.
He might throw no picks, maybe one at the end, like trying to catch up.
Right.
But
yeah, I do. Luke Kuechly's a ball hawk.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen. He's gonna try to make something happen. Luke Kuechly's gonna pick it off, run it back for a touchdown.
I think
Luke
Manning,
Kuechly's a BC guy, and BC guys are winners. So,
that's what Peyton does. I mean, he did that against the Saints and against the Seahawks. So.
I'll say this: I just don't want Peyton to win this game so badly because. If he wins this, you know he's going to retire.
Yes.
And you know that all he will ever be remembered for is winning the Super Bowl and beating Tom Brady.
Will he cry?
Yes.
I hope so.
Balls.
Well, I hope he cries if he loses.
No,
because
I don't think he'll cry. He doesn't seem like a crier.
He cries if they win. If he's getting the MVP trophy and he has to make a speech, no, he's balling.
Oh, they're gonna Joe Namath him.
Like, he only cries when he's getting HGH stuck in his forehead.
Yeah, if the Broncos win, even if Peyton goes like 3 of 17 for 40 yards, they're giving him the MVP.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah, I mean he gets no matter what happens.
I mean it's fairly obvious that the MVP is going to either be Peyton Manning or Cam Newton.
Unless given some last second heroics. I mean I could see Luke Kuechly getting it if he gets a pick six.
My surprise. I don't know if we were doing surprises or anything, but my surprise would have been Ted Ginn for the Panthers. He's going to return a kickoff.
No
the
chance.
Opening kickoff for a touchdown.
No,
Ted Ginn,
that's like Desmond Howard.
Ted Ginn, despite how he's done in the playoffs, still smells. And no. So one of the other ones that we went over was, does Ted Ginn drop a pass? Absolutely.
Does it? What's his face?
I mean, yeah,
Demaryius Thomas drop a pass. Yes.
Yeah. I'll drop a pass.
Yeah, I guess that'll probably happen. I mean, it's just the thing too. Just going back real quick, if Manning does win the Super Bowl, nobody's going to remember that he lost in the first round of the playoffs 9 times throughout his career.
Right.
That's unbelievable. 11. Is it 11?
Yeah. I think he's got 11.
No, I meant in the first round. Maybe it was 9 times. I don't know. Whatever it was, he's lost.
He is. What the heck's his record? I don't know. He's lost.
Bottom line is he's a choke artist, and yes, he's a choke artist. Dude, you just knowed me.
You just seem really salty right now, John.
Top 3 NFL quarterback of all time, but he is.
No, he's not.
Yes,
he
is.
No, he's not.
Top 3, I would put him in top 3.
No way.
He's the greatest regular season.
He's got the most passing yards, the most passing touchdowns.
He's got an insane amount of wins.
You can't discount him as one of the better. I don't know if he's top 3.
Top 3? No way.
He's definitely top 5.
Unitas, Montana, Brady.
Yeah, I think that's better than I think.
I don't even think he's. I think he's.
Top
I don't even know if he's the second best quarterback of this generation. I think Roethlisberger's better than he is.
That's a stretch.
No, he's not. Roethlisberger's a.
I mean, Roethlisberger has the rings. That's about it. I think Manning's a better quarterback.
Roethlisberger's got guts. He's the gutsiest quarterback I've ever seen.
This isn't based on guts. This is based on who's the better quarterback.
I think that he's.
I think Roethlisberger's a great quarterback.
Guts plays much into it. He's got toughness. He wins. He's just a winner. That's what Roethlisberger is.
He's a winner. He's absolutely a winner, and he's an elite quarterback, I think, in the NFL. But I think Peyton Manning's
the second best quarterback of the 2000s.
No. I mean, Manning.
Okay, maybe top 3 is a stretch. I agree. Unitas, Montana.
I'd put Manning.
I'd put him at 5. I'd put Marino ahead of him.
No for Marino.
Anyway, let's take a quick break. Maybe give us some clocks or a little Coldplay action.
Yeah, there we go.
On the other, we'll come back on the other side. Maybe touch on a little baseball. And maybe we'll talk about our breaks.
Yeah. Quickly. Picks for the game.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Who's gonna win? What's the score?
Me? All right. Panthers, I think they're going to blow out the Broncos in the first half. Then Denver's going to come back, typical Carolina fashion, let the team back in. But Carolina's still going to win by 14. I think it's going to be 35-21.
I think Panthers 30. I liked 35 a lot. I was going to go with that. 35-17 Panthers. I don't think Manning has a good game. I don't want him to. I'm so biased.
Yeah, you guys hate Peyton Manning, and I don't like him either, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's top 3. But I don't really care about the game, but I'll say this. If the Broncos win, it's because of the defense.
Right.
If the Panthers win, Peyton Manning has a great game. Overall winner, the NFL.
I'm going to go. I've gone back and forth on this. I can see Carolina blowing them out. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, Carolina's just going to walk in and kick Denver over. I think there's a really, really bad matchup for the Panthers, and that's Michael Orr against Von Miller and Derek Wolfe and Shane Ray and DeMarcus Ware. Those guys against Michael Orr. Michael Orr stinks. He's bad. And
Blindside.
Yeah, he's the blindside guy. I mean... He's just not that good.
That's what he's most known for, is being the blindside guy, not for being an NFL player.
The Panthers' defense...
Yeah.
Panthers' defense is just way too tough for Denver. I'm going 13-8 Panthers.
Shout out to John Flamia for that score prediction. Yeah, I think it'll come down to the Denver defense and how they play. That's what's going to matter at the end of the day, because I think we know what Peyton Manning is going to give us. In terms of he's going to control the line of scrimmage, and he's going to do short passes, and I think the Carolina defense will be able to do that. Peyton, I know I've harped on him a lot. He's not fully healthy. I mean, anyone with 2 eyes can see that. Mm-hmm. He's not the same quarterback he was 5 years ago. So I don't think even 2 years ago. I don't think he'll be able to control the game. So I think it'll really come down to how well, like Tim was saying, Denver's front 7 will play. Well, you saw what they did to Tom Brady. And they made his life very difficult. And
Cam Newton is not.
Tom Brady is better than Cam Newton. So
I don't know who's better at avoiding the rush, though.
Yeah, you're right. Probably Newton is better at avoiding the rush. But if they can put a little pressure on Cam, make him rattled in the big game, I don't know. But at the same time, he's been in big spots before. He's played in national championships. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break.
All right, we'll be back after this short break.
were just having a heated debate off there about performances and Michael
Greatest
Jackson just
entertainer of all
greatest
time.
entertainer and
No.
Michael Jackson just came up. Tim disagreed, but
Paul McCartney. Ooh.
And
Dude, come on, that's just as basic as Michael Jackson.
Paul McCartney's an incredible singer.
Paul McCartney is
and
just
an
as
incredible musician.
If you're gonna call Michael Jackson overrated, you might as well call Paul McCartney overrated.
That's a
they're
bananas
both
statement.
Popular because they're boy band. They're about
The
women,
Beatles
dude.
could actually play.
did you say they're about winning?
Women. Their fan base is they're just One Direction and Justin Bieber. They might as well be our generation's Paul McCartney's and the Beatles and Michael Jackson, dude.
They
You
have
say that now because
David.
dude, Justin
the
Bieber
Beatles
has
have
talent. The Beatles has talent. One Direction has talent. They
Hey,
wouldn't
you know
be
what?
where
This
they
would be
are
great
without it.
on Tuesday nights with Tim.
Yeah.
This would be a great segment.
That was the most the ludicrous statement I've ever heard.
Well, you know,
Michael
hey,
Jackson's great.
you
He
gotta
can
you gotta
sing.
respect
His
Michael
song-
Jackson.
Yeah,
You gotta
of course he can
Great
sing,
show,
but like
funny.
his music, I don't know.
You don't have to love it, but you gotta respect him. Anyway, we
And I don't like how much of a god he's turned into. Like, did they forget what happened in the early 2000s? Whatever.
All right, let's not speak ill of the dead.
Yeah. I mean, I
we're
didn't
getting
want to get into
sidetracked.
that.
We're
but
getting sidetracked. This
10,
is
10 minutes before the end of the first
this
show.
is this is great. This is great. What do you call it? Little
Banter.
not banter, but like plug. This is a great plug for Tim's show on Tuesday nights that you should all go listen to.
Yeah,
more of
great
this
way
sort
to
of debate.
great
down the
great bedtime listening.
yeah,
Right.
that might keep me up. Like that gets the blood boiling. I don't know.
Yeah. I
If you need if you're studying, you need to get awake or something like that. Maybe tune in.
Well, I mean, I'm a solo artist, so I feel like I was like I didn't want to. I'm afraid every time I get on this show that I sound like independent radio, and that's what I don't want. I don't want to be like boring. I want someone to tune in and be sort of. I wouldn't say fired up, but
You need Colin Cowherd's
we should get.
hot.
I don't want to. I don't want people to listen to me and like want to read a book. That's sort of.
That's fair. So we got about 9 minutes left. We started this segment last.
Are we doing Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the Week?
That's what I was. Yeah, we started this segment last semester. I thought it went well. It's an enjoyable segment. Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the Week.
Stone Cold Lock of the Century. All week.
What do you got, Phil, for us?
Dope
yeah.
intro. Love
Very
it.
dope. Good job.
Love
Tim.
it.
All
Love
right.
it.
Well, despite what
Don't
you
just
guys
like it,
might
love
think
it.
about Beyonce, I like Beyonce.
Of course you do, Phil. Of course you do.
All right.
Of course you do.
Whoa, where's this come from?
Yeah, for real. Beyonce, she had I liked her Super Bowl performance when the
She has like
Ravens-
one good song.
She has lots of good songs.
Like one.
We should have done a prop bet over under on Beyonce's hip thrusts.
Yeah.
There were
20.
there was a prop bet about what color shoes she'd wear.
Anyway, what's your
Anyways,
lock?
I think that she's gonna have a better performance against, or like, rather than Coldplay. I think she's probably gonna steal the show actually, and then the power will go out again at halftime and cause another delay.
Beyonce smells.
what do you got?
Jesus.
You know,
I don't think the Jigga Man would have liked that too much.
I'm going back to our boys, the Marquette basketball team. Wednesday night, the Friars are coming into town.
Beating the Friars.
My Stone Cold Lock of the Century, Marquette over Providence.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a.
I wish they came in ranked higher. I really do. Because I want to be on that court.
They'll still probably
But-
be top 25. You think?
Yeah, but I need them in the top 10
Yeah.
in order to justify a court storming.
Justify the bailout money.
Well, yeah.
Villanova.
I mean, right now, I'm going to look at this game and I think Marquette should win. If you're going to look at the matchups, this is a game that Marquette should absolutely win. And in order to storm the court, it's got to be an upset. And really, yeah, rankings it'll show that an upset, but I don't know how much of an upset it is because if you tell me to make a prediction, I'm taking Marquette.
Okay, David, what do you got for us? What should we expect this week?
All right, maybe not this. Well, the week, past week, Jeff Hornacek. I'm a big Phoenix Suns fan. None of you know what I'm talking about. Jeff Hornacek got fired. Sucks for him. That I liked him. Anyway, the Suns I think are going to have a resurgence with a new energy, with a new coach. They have a guy by the name of Devin Booker, a young guy out of Kentucky, who's lighting it up right now. My stone cold lock of the rest of the NBA season. Suns make a late season run. Devin Booker, with the Suns getting in the playoffs, takes the Rookie of the Year away from Karl Anthony Towns and steps into his
Can't
own.
see that happening. Karl Anthony Towns has that thing unlocked.
It's nice having a little NBA.
Yeah, we should have.
Oh, I'll make another Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the week. I'll bet. Did I already make this? Did I already make a $10 bet today?
Yes.
I think I did.
You did.
About what?
I forget what it was about, but you definitely did.
You
Not with
definitely
me.
made something.
Yeah, it was.
He said you'd put the money back down. I
Yeah, but I never took it. Don't put me on the hook.
Xavier and Villanova.
Yeah,
Oh,
I said
yeah,
no.
yeah,
I
I'm-
said no to that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll make another bet that you won't take again because it's fairly obvious. Cleveland Golden State NBA Finals. Easy call.
All right.
Easy call.
Fair. Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the Week. I think Greg Olson has 3 touchdowns on Sunday.
All right.
If
Wow.
he has 3, he gets the MVP.
He might get MVP with 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched something with Greg Olson this week, and he said that if he gets 3 touchdowns, Cam Newton throws 3 touchdowns, so he won't win the MVP.
Yeah.
He'll
All
still-
possible. Do we know? Is there someone coming in after us? Do we have to be out of here? I mean, there's no one in waiting.
I don't know, but if someone gives us the royal, I mean, if someone shows up, we gotta
Right.
be out.
So we might be able to stay on for. We have 5 minutes left in our allotted time, but we could be the last show of the night. So if we are, we'll stay with you for a few more minutes.
I don't think we're last show of the night, but
Or last show
Might-
for right now,
yeah.
for a little bit. Or
You can take a
shows
break
and
from
no
Marquette
show.
Radio, 'cause that's what we do.
Anybody have anything they want to plug? Any other show? I know you're on the air tomorrow, right? Phil?
I have a radio show called Use Your Words with my friend Madeline, and it's at 9 in the morning Central Time. So
taking over the former
oh my
tough spot to fill. With,
exactly
some
That-
legends were.
all right.
tough shoes to fill.
I did. We talked about this show probably 4 times, but my show on Tuesday at midnight is just worlds better than 9 in the morning on Sundays. Worlds. I mean, it's tough knowing that literally not one person in the entire world is listening to you.
What's your show now?
But
It's like kind of the news, entertainment. I don't know. We have a big. Yeah, it's called Use Your Words because we're talking instead of fighting. And like Madeline is
You
very.
can fight with words.
Is that a dig at War of Civility?
No.
yeah, we don't.
There's too much
We use words
testosterone
here.
in this room.
There is.
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
I don't know.
That's
We have a
fair.
big segment about the Iowa caucuses
Right.
tomorrow, so.
Do we want to discuss that at all?
No. No. Honestly,
take?
I still have research to do on that.
Oh,
Really?
Who pulls a Hillary Clinton and wins the opening coin toss? And does that lead them to a Super Bowl win like it did her in the Iowa caucuses?
What are you talking about?
Dude, you guys not following? Not
No,
what
I know
happened?
that it was like 50-50. Is that like your point?
the in 6 delegates in Iowa, they were a tie and they had to flip a coin.
Oh, they did. I
Really?
did not know that.
Hillary
I did
Clinton,
not know that.
Hillary Clinton won
that been
all 6 of them.
confirmed yet, though?
Yes,
Because
that's confirmed.
Because I know
that
that there's
happened.
a lot of stuff going on
I don't
about.
think that's-
they think that she
That's
cheated.
true.
But
No,
That's-
the cheating is whatever. The coin flip is a fact.
that's
That
a real thing.
happened.
She won 6 in a row.
That happened. Yes, she won all 6 of them.
I'm not a Democrat,
doesn't
but they
seem-
should have put up Martin O'Malley. He should have been. He's good looking, sounds good, charismatic,
Taking
executive
the mic away from you because we're not
Okay.
going to talk
Yeah,
politics.
we're not talking politics,
Um,
but who pulls the Hillary Clinton and wins the coin toss, and do they win the Super Bowl? Like
Well,
she
who
did
gets
Iowa
the
caucus?
pick, heads or tails?
I believe Carolina. I believe Denver's home team.
I think
They are.
Carolina.
Panthers win the coin toss and defer for the second half.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, with tails. Carolina
With
calls
heads, with
tails.
heads. With
Yeah.
heads.
Tails never fails.
Tails never.
What did Hillary call? Was she heads or tails?
That's tough. I do not have that information.
I
for
do
you.
not. Have.
I don't know. I don't know who called it either. I don't know if it was Bernie Sanders.
I can't
or
believe that's a
Hillary.
thing. That sounds
Yeah.
so like.
Yeah, it was.
unprofessional.
Yeah, but nope. That's
I mean,
what
this was a
happened.
rare circumstance,
Yeah.
right, where it was 50-50.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Iowa's a weird place. Been there. I like it though. I'm an Iowa fan.
It's not like North Dakota.
North Dakota doesn't exist. Though. I mean, if any listener has been to North Dakota, just shoot me a
weren't there.
message.
You weren't
Shoot-
there.
give me like a selfie that proof you were.
Yeah, give me.
North Dakota's a great. They do a good job.
The Bison.
University of North
That's
Dakota
North Dakota
wins.
Yeah.
It's North Dakota State, whatever.
Yeah, the Bison.
It's
Yeah, University of North Dakota is not that's Fighting Sioux.
Okay.
No, but they don't have a
North
mascot
Dakota,
anymore.
They're still North Dakota.
Oh, they don't have a mascot. They
Someone
took them
doesn't have
away?
a mascot.
No, I think it was
because
the
they
Fighting
had-
Sioux.
Yeah.
I think it
Which
was the
how
Fighting
is that?
Sioux.
Sorry, I don't think that's offensive. Fighting Sioux, like that's like a.
Well, that's
like war.
That's for
a
another
debate for another day.
That's for another debate. Maybe on Use Your Words.
South Dakota.
exactly.
Maybe on
South Dakota's real. North Dakota is not.
South Dakota State came to play our tennis team, and they're the Jackrabbits. That's their mascot. I would hate to be a Jackrabbit.
Okay, South Dakota State is like my least favorite team of all time because every single year in March Madness they come in like 28-4, and then they play like a bad Power 5 school. And I'm like, oh, South Dakota State, yeah, they're gonna win, and they lose by 100 every single year
Because they play nobody.
Are you picking them?
I do pick South Dakota
Why do you
State.
keep picking them?
I don't know. I'm an upset kind of guy, and usually I end up doing pretty well. I came in second. I absolutely should have won last year.
Same. If Wisconsin had won, I would have been.
No, I
richer
got
man.
absolutely robbed that last year because I was in a pool and the admin changed the scoring for some reason, and I guess he weighted the first round and second round heavier than the last, so I came in second. The kid who won picked Kentucky, and I picked Duke, and I lost him.
That's a good pick.
That's tough.
I was pretty mad. It cost me $150.
Did everybody
Yeah.
pick Michigan State in the Final Four?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
I did.
I forget.
I love, dude. Spartans in the NCAA tournament are.
Oh, they're the best.
They're
tournament
unreal.
team.
Like
They're the
they
best
just
tournament
they
team.
and what's funny is they always have a dude that looks like Thomas Paine. Like ever since Thomas Paine left, the new what's his name? The same gap tooth, and they look the same. They play that Valentine.
Yeah.
He looks the same. They're brothers. They have to be. They're twins.
Anyway.
It's the same person.
Did you guys do anything fun over break? Anything good?
No, not really. Hannah came to visit. That was about it. I mean, I like seeing. I mean, it was nice to see my family
Of
and
course,
everything.
naturally. That's implied.
Yeah, I live in Pittsburgh now.
How was that?
It was fine. I
Did
mean,
you explore Pittsburgh at all?
we went to downtown Pittsburgh and we drove past University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That's a nice campus.
Is it?
Yeah.
In the city?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's kind of like Marquette, except it looks more of like a campus. It's not just like in the
Okay.
city.
Gotcha.
I saw Pittsburgh's professional hockey team play the Bruins.
Hey,
Pittsburgh the
They
Penguins?
Yeah, they were awful. If you're a betting man, and you're gonna bet on the NHL playoff, and somehow the Penguins make it, no. Oh man, I've never seen a team have so many shots in a game and have so little offense than the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh my God, they
How
are
was
bad.
the Jets-Pats game?
Heartbreaking, heartbreaking.
Were
It
you-
was like
were you getting heckled pretty?
no.
Really?
Okay, so I'm gonna call out my
let's
dad. I'm
just
gonna call out my dad a little bit.
Let's just
right now.
preface this real quick. You went to MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, I went to
Patriots-
MetLife
You were
Stadium.
wearing
Yeah,
Patriots stuff.
Yes, obviously. So I'm gonna call out my dad a little bit. He was like, "You can't wear the Gronk jersey." I said, "You're crazy. I'm wearing the Gronk jersey. I am the most obnoxious Patriots fan in the world." And
We're all obnoxious.
Yeah.
But you might be more than we
I'm
are.
very, very annoying. I'm a very annoying Patriot fan, and I have Patriot pride. So that would be like me not backing up my words if I went to MetLife Stadium and didn't
Right.
wear Patriot stuff. There were so many Pats fans.
Really? Just in your
So
section?
many.
Or
No,
just
in the whole stadium.
Really?
We were so much more vocal than the Jets fans. now.
Really?
Well, I mean, obviously, when all the Jets fans were yelling, we weren't. But like, if like take down to the average Patriot fan versus the average Jet fan, there, Pats fans by a mile.
See, that's the worst. Is you never want your opposing fans to be more vocal in your home stadium.
I mean, you could hear like chants for Brady
Yikes!
in the stadium.
I would not expect that in
but
MetLife
you didn't
Stadium.
get heckled at all.
No, not at all. Not
I got
one
heckled.
person.
I wore my Marquette stuff to the Marquette Providence game. I got heckled at the Providence game.
Yeah, no, I was rooting for it. I wanted someone to like throw something at me.
Were you gonna get in a fight?
No, but I would have been. No, but no. I wanted someone to like throw a hot dog at me, but no, they didn't do anything. So
Yeah.
and
Joke's on you.
the whole game was like it was so disheartening because it was such a crazy comeback when they couldn't do anything offensively, and then they finally scored. And
You guys made me really stressed. As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I was stressed when the Pats were knocking it up.
and they scored a touchdown, and they went to overtime, and then I heard them Obviously, you heard the officials' mic through the stadium, and they said the Patriots have won the toss. I said, all right, 1-for-1, getting the ball. We won the toss. And then they said, defer, or they're kicking off, and I knew it was over. I knew it was over.
That was, I think, just a case of... Actually, I didn't hate the decision, too.
Oh, it's terrible. All right,
let's not get into that, because we can debate that all day.
We can. No one really cares that much.
Yeah, no one cares that much.
After they lost, I felt like we had to... After the game, MetLife Stadium... public transportation is such a joke.
Yeah,
by the way.
I remember when they had the Super Bowl there, it was really bad. Like, people were backed up for hours.
It was such a joke. We stayed.
Well, yeah, that too.
I went with my dad and my brother, and we stayed at a hotel right across the street, and we had to wait like an hour to get in a bus to get back to the hotel. That was literally right across the street. Like, you couldn't walk? No, because you had to cross a major highway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we were waiting there, and we were just waiting for hours. I felt like melting into the cement and coming up like 2 days later. Went back in the hotel. It was like a funeral, and it was I don't know. It was like I could see the future, and I knew that loss would end up killing them, and it absolutely did. Had they won the game, they'd be playing in the Super Bowl.
I think the loss that kills them the most, I think, is the Philadelphia loss.
In Miami.
Yeah, well, obviously, but I just think you're not in the Miami and Jet situation if you want to. But this is a topic for another day. Nobody cares.
Yeah. I also went to Trump over break.
Yeah.
I went to the Trump rally. That was interesting. Went with some friends. That was like if you watch South Park and they do a spoof of like a Donald Trump rally, it would be exactly like that. It was absolutely wild.
That's funny.
What kind of music were they playing?
So Trump took the stage to "We're Not Gonna Take It."
Oh, of course he did.
Twister Sister. It was.
We might be okay. I think we're about to get the wrap. It looks like some other people are here. We weren't. Yeah. I don't know if they didn't know where the studio was, but anyway, thanks for tuning in to this episode of War of Civility, first one back, second semester. Make sure to tune in. We'll stay for now. Saturdays at 3. We'll be here for Tim's